So I find
No, no, no. No. I think one more, two more. It's not yet.
oh no. Yes, yeah.
All right. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Committee of the Whole meeting, June 4th. I'm your chair, Councillor Castro Liu. I'm going to call the meeting to order. It's 9:30. So first is council announcements. Regional and local councillor DePaula.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll just be quick. It's the last opportunity to announce once again on Saturday, June 7th, we're having a family fun barbecue at the Mill Pond, and it takes place from 12 to 3. Thanks to the donations from generous local sponsors and community partners. There's free burgers and drinks for residents of Richmond Hill. We've got bouncing castles and face painting and balloons and all kinds of fun. So anyone who wants to come out on Saturday afternoon, hopefully we have great weather, and we'll see you there.
Thank you. Councillor Slivets.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everybody. Just a couple of things. I wasn't in last week, so I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank our event staff for assisting my office with a fantastic event last Saturday night at the United Church. Songwriters from the Hill. Thank you to Paula and Susan and Ava. And of course, thank you to Pat and Marnie as well. But it was an excellent event, and we look forward to our part 2, which will come in on November the 1st at the theatre. And there'll be more about that as the months go by. So again, my thanks to staff. They were, as always, completely amazing. And the other thing I just wanted to say is this is June. It is Pride Month. Happy Pride, everybody. On Monday at 10:30, we have our Pride flag raising outside. Please join us, everybody, as many as possible. And on Saturday, June 21st, we have the York Pride Parade in Newmarket. And we will be marching, council will be marching with some staff, and the Richmond Hill Philharmonic Orchestra will be joining us this year. So we look forward to that. Come out to Newmarket. If you wish to march with us, just let me know, and I'll put you in the count. Everybody's welcome. Otherwise, you can line the streets and really have an absolutely fabulous day of fabulous fun. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Mayor West.
Well, thanks very much. I just want to quickly mention that we just came back from Ottawa from the Federation of Canadian Municipalities Convention. It was a good few days of learning and listening to what people had to say, our fellow colleagues, mayors and councillors from across the country. We also heard from a number of different keynote addresses from all of the parties federally. And, you know, I was very happy to hear some good news coming out of Prime Minister Carney's in his speech about support for cities and helping us with some of the challenges that we're facing in our communities. So anyway, I just wanted to let everybody know about that. It was a great convention as always, and you know, Richmond Hill, I think, was well represented on the Canadian stage.
Thank you. Councillor Tree.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Chair. So I do have a few announcements. So May is the end of the May. The last week will be was the National Accessibility Week, which is going to be providing accessibility and inclusion for people who had disabilities across the national wide. So last week there's one of the special charity group named as North Star Special Needs. The founder is really in the world for as a Rutherford councillor. His name is Benny. Maybe a lot of the residents or council member knows us. So last week they are holding hockey matches events for the autism kids. I have been witness a lot of the kids when they start learning the ice things, they just climbing on the ice. And after years struggling and practice, finally they can come out, play hockey. For them, it's very challenging. I see a lot of parents, they're so proud about that type of events. And also know this North Star Special Kids, they build up their connection with a university from New York. So there are top world level professors and researchers from autism areas. They're going to build up relationship and to search for how the sports can trigger and help autism kids. I hope this type of research can not only benefit kids in care in Canada, in our city, but also internationally. Next one is in Ward 4. So I'm organizing garage sales events. So far, there are 30 to 40 resident joins. So the due date for registration will be end of this week. If you do have interest to join this program, please check out my email, also my website. I hope June 14 will be the day for that kind of garage sale. And also in Ward 4, yesterday, Mayor joined us as well. So we have a school, private elementary school named as Richmond Academy. So one of the young kids, grade 8, because he made a video regarding to the Highway 413 for environment protection, and the school awarded around $5,000 from Eco Schools Canada, and also from the Greenbelt Foundation. So kudos for our students and for their achievement. Also, they start planting lots of trees. If I remember correctly, Mayor, correct me. So this is the fourth school in Richmond Hill being qualified, named as Eco School, if I'm not wrong, okay? The next one will be this last week, actually. York Region Police host 40K bicycle ridings to promote event for 1 meter away campaigns. So summer is coming, all the cyclists and also drivers, please keep at least 1 meter away from cyclists when you drive on the road. It's not a recommendation, it's a law. 2021, Ontario passed law, you must keep 1 meter distance from all the cyclists to protect their safety. I joined that one as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Regional and Local Councillor Deputy Mayor Chan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone. This month, June, there's a lot of celebration going on. My colleague mentioned some of them, but also is Senior Month. And as one who's over 55 plus, and I don't think any of my colleagues is getting there yet, I understand.
Bless you, Barbara.
Yet, that's the key word. I understand this is an annual tradition the city is hosting for all 55s and above. Maybe just to warm up to my regional colleague barbecue on Saturday, we'll be hosting a barbecue from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m., as I understand it, at the same venue, Mill Pond. Then perhaps Commissioner still can correct me. I think that's the place at Mill Pond this Friday, June 6th. And talking about on the Mill Pond, which is a beautiful place for us to go. June is also Parks and Recreation Month. So go outdoor, enjoy beautiful trails on the parks and everything. So lots of things going on in addition to what for all over the city. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Thompson.
Thank you very much. Staying with the monthly theme here, in commemoration of the National Indigenous History Month and in partnership with the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, Richmond Hill's proud to present, and I'm going to butcher this, I apologize, Minwa Ninwin Dabad Dejin Wow, which translates to Our Story Continues in Art. The exhibit celebrates the vibrant history and culture of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, which is one of Richmond Hill's treaty partners. Through the power of art, themes of lost pride and honor help tell the story of the resilient, vibrant, and thriving First Nation that stands today. We invite you all to visit the exhibit on now until July 2nd at the Richmond Hill Center for the Performing Arts in the Visual Art Gallery on the main floor. I'd just also like to make an announcement on behalf of the Legion. If you happen to be a music junkie, you could come to the Live at the Legion event on Saturday, June 14th from 2 to 5 p.m. for an afternoon of popular music, which is music over the decades performed by the Twisted Covers Band. So if you know where the Legion is at 233 Center Street East, tickets are only $5. Feel free to reach out to the region, call Lori Karuk. And if you wanted that number, it's 905-884-7030. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more council announcements? Seeing none. Introduction of emergency time-sensitive matters. None. Adoption of the agenda. We have no regrets for agenda items, no public hearings, no presentations, no delegations, and one member motion. Can I have a motion to adopt the agenda? Mayor West, all those in favor? Carry unanimously. Disclosures of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof. Seeing none. Identification of items requiring separate discussion. Councillor Tree,
On extract 11.1.
11.1. 11.1 being pulled. All right. Mayor West?
I wouldn't mind pulling 11.2.
All right. Any more? All right, so going to the consent agenda is 11.3 and 11.4. Great. What's next? Okay, adoption of the remainder of the agenda items. Councillor Davidson, all those in favor? Carry unanimously. All right, so we go straight to 11.1. Councillor Twee.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Chair. I just have a very general question regarding 11.1. I know this location, which is 10, 9, 20 Yonge Street, is already in the Ontario Land Tribunal discussions, or there is a debatings. So what is the purpose for this motion? I believe we had maybe Ontario OL Land Tribunal already approved that one. So is this 11.1 just for council information only, or is there any special approval we needed to do?
Director Gianetta?
Good morning. Through the chair to Councillor Tree. So no, this application is not in front of the board. It was zoned as part of the Young Bernard KDA secondary plan and the subsequent KDA zoning bylaw. This is strictly to remove the hold provision that is applicable across the whole of the Young Bernard KDA. And there were certain criteria that had to be met in terms of servicing, transportation matters, and the applicant has now met those requirements. They're currently finalizing the site plan and they're getting ready to do full permits. So this is just to make sure that certain criteria were met.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Would you like to move the staff recommendation? Okay, we have a motion 11.1, staff recommendation, moved by Councillor Twee. All those in favor? Carry unanimously. Thank you. So next is 11.2, Mayor West.
Thank you. I don't really have any questions on the report. I mean, I was there, but what I just wanted to pull this for a couple of reasons. I think it's important, especially in the economic times that we're in, for council and the public to know that our staff is working very, very hard at making sure that we have a really robust and resilient economy. And I specifically wanted to give a shout out to Anthony Arulo and Brenda Osler for participating in the Hanover Messe trip that we made to Germany a little while ago. One of the things that isn't in this report that I think needs to be acknowledged is the amount of work that went into planning the mission before the mission happened. And I think, I was quite aware of that level of detail, but I think that that's one of the things that made this mission so successful, is that we had so many really great meetings lined up, ready to go. And so we did all of those meetings, talked to many, many different people from across Europe and all over the world, quite honestly, about why Richmond Hill is a great place to do business. And all of that didn't just happen by chance. It happened because of great planning. So thank you to both of you for that great work. I've said this before when we talked about this right after we came back from Germany, but one of the things that it's all in the report, but one of the things I just wanted to reiterate is how very proud I was to be representing Richmond Hill and the value proposition that Richmond Hill has. And it was on full display as we were talking to different people, encouraging them to do business with Richmond Hill and also to ultimately potentially move their businesses to Richmond Hill. But we have a lot to offer in Richmond Hill. We have a very, very highly educated workforce. We have, geographically, we're the center of the GTA universe. And many other real competitive advantages. And the other thing that I was really amazed about was just, given the turmoil that's happening in the United States, just how much Canada is respected in Europe. And we heard time and time again from Europeans that, Canada is the most like Europe anywhere in the world without actually being in Europe. So it really was, I think there's huge potential for us to be, gathering more economic clout from Europe and vice versa. I realize that there's an ocean between us, but at the same time, I think we need to use this time to diversify our trade in Canada and particularly here in Richmond Hill. So it's a very well-written report. It summarizes very clearly all of the things that happened and the activities that were taking place, and I guess most importantly, the things that we're following up. After we've come back, that now the real work begins. So we are actively working on making the contacts that we made in Germany translate to good things to happen for our community. So thank you for the report. As I said, I was very proud to be able to represent Richmond Hill, and I just want everybody to know how very well received Richmond Hill was at that event. So thank you very much, and I'll be happy to move the motion.
Thank you. So we have a motion to receive the report on 11.2. Any comments? All those in favor? Carries unanimously. Thank you. All right. So last but not least is the member motion by Councillor Davidson. Please.
Thank you. It's not complicated. We have our public council meetings on Tuesday nights. It's an opportunity for us to sort of see a first look at a plan for a development or some kind of build, and they start at 7. And sometimes they're very well attended meetings, and sometimes they are very long agendas. So I have received some feedback from residents that starting at 7 means sometimes if we have 2-3 things and they want to speak on the second thing, they're not getting their shot until 8:30, 9 o'clock. It disrupts the family. Kids are I got one lady telling me her kids went to bed at 10 o'clock that night, and I think it was discouraging to her. I have run this idea by, and it's amenable to staff. I also think the traditional rush hour is no longer at 5. If you go out on the 404 at 3 o'clock, you can hardly move. So I just think moving it earlier is also more beneficial for some of the seniors that come out, gets them home earlier, and especially in winter. So all around, I hope this is agreeable to my fellow council members. It just moves the meetings up till 6 p.m. and there's still hybrid. So if you can't make it here by 6, there's still an opportunity to participate. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Silovitz.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Councillor Davidson, for bringing this forward. As I'm fully in support of this, as I spoke with you, as long as our staff are okay with this, then I am okay with this. I think that you've made some very good points there, and I support them. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more comments on 12.1? Councillor Chui?
Maybe this for staff. As I remember, since this term of the council members, we only have one time we pass 11 p.m. Is that case? For most of the events, I believe we all can finish before 9:30.
Thank you. Through the chair, regrettably, I can't provide an accurate answer to that in the absence of going through the minutes for this term. So I'd hate to give a false answer.
Okay.
CEO?
Through you, Mr. Chair, the councillor did consult with staff on this motion before she put it forward, and staff are in agreement that logistically this can take place, and it's a very efficient motion for us from a staff perspective for overtime and all of those types of items that we have. Notwithstanding the fact that we always have committee of the whole or council, so keeping staff at night that have to come in the following morning at 7:30 or 8 to get ready for committee of whole and council. The 6 o'clock start time is most agreeable by staff. And we consulted with the clerk and the planning department staff on this.
Okay, great. So I just want to echo some things for commuters, especially if they're working on downtown. So normally they start from either 9 to 5 or 8 to 4. I would say majority is 9 to 5. If we put this one, I would say, I won't say this important meeting, they have to come back earlier, but for a lot of commuters, they have to leave office 4:30, is less chance to come here as well. Also, I want to echo because I'm parents of the high school students. So both of kids are studying in high school. So their program, majority of them finish around 5:30. So when I pick them up 5:30, I go home 6 o'clock. I think I want to echo from parents' perspective. A lot of high school students' family, they very challenging to get here as well. So for us, because we come here almost every Tuesday, I haven't got my dinner right now based on 7 o'clock schedules for dinner. I only got my Tuesday dinner from Tim Horton. If this is scheduled to 6 p.m., I'll say I never got dinner for the remaining of my term. So I won't say it's a challenge, but I can squeeze a little bit, eat earlier, but I just want to echo two groups of people. So for commuters, if they work from downtown or from Middletown, 6 p.m. for them is too early. They may bypass one-time dinner. Is not a big deal. But for high school student families, it's also a challenge too. So I believe maybe in the middle of something, 6:30 might meet majority of the peoples. I'm just thinking 6 o'clock might be too early. And this way, I'll say I cannot eat my dinner for the remaining of my term. That is my comment. So if there is any buffers, we switch a little bit for half an hour, 6:30. I believe that might meet more people, not just through here. Okay, that's my comment.
We can make an amendment if you want, Councillor.
Yeah, sure. I want to make amendment if possibly 6:30. I think at least for a lot of commuters, a lot of parents, they might fit for there.
Okay, so we have an amendment on the floor, which is changing from 6 to 6:30. So speaking to the amendment, Councillor Davidson.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for your feedback. I've never once got a call from a resident who complained about not being able to eat or that these meetings, what I've heard from residents is they're too late, period. And if somebody wants to speak at a meeting, they can do it hybrid. They can do it many ways. And the chances are that someone comes every other Tuesday is almost impossible. People come when it affects their neighborhood. And that's very spread out. The chances that people we saw last Tuesday are not going to be the people we see next Tuesday because it's site specific. So what we're saying to residents is when it is in your neighborhood and you want to come, we're going to make it more available. Also, soccer, baseball, all the things kids do in the summer, in the evening in particular, hockey, they start at 5, 4:30, 6. So I'm not sure what to say about having Tim Hortons for dinner. Sounds good to me, but the feedback I've received from residents, and since really the basic purpose of these meetings is to provide residents an opportunity to participate in the process, tells me they want them earlier. I cannot support this motion. It feels like extra work for a half an hour doesn't make much difference, respectfully. Also, I did mean to mention staff. When we are here till 10 o'clock, staff have to go home, be back here at 8:30, 9. It's wear and tear too. So I think this works for all of us. I'm sorry if you can't support it. I don't support the amendment. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Regional Local Councillor DePaula.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I can't support the amendment either. And previous speaker said what I was going to say, that for residents, it's a very, it may happen once every 2 or 3 years that they would have a planning a proposal in their neighborhood that they want to come and be a part of. And for that one day, if they do have something going on at 5 o'clock, or they have to leave downtown an hour earlier, they can make arrangements for that one time, that one off. But the hybrid also helps the fact that they can tune in, on their phone or so many other ways. We used to have 7:30 meetings, 7 o'clock, but we never did the council the morning after. And that's what, as was said, I think it's unfair to ask staff to stay potentially to midnight and then have a quick early meeting. So because this is the preference of staff, I don't think a half hour makes much difference. This moving to 6 is I think going to be good, because that's the feedback I've got. It's just simply too late. Thanks.
Thank you. Mayor West.
Thank you. I can't support the amendment, but I think we need to be clear on this. The sole purpose of council public meeting, as I say at the beginning of every council public meeting, is not to make decisions, but it's solely there to get input provided from the citizens to our planning staff, so that we can refer all those comments back to staff, and that is the first opportunity for the community to comment on a planning application. So that's it. That's the sole purpose. It's not about us. It's not about staff. It's not about anybody else. It's about the public having the opportunity to give input. Now, having said that, I mean, whether it's 7, whether it's 6:30, or whether it's 6, I mean, 6:30 is not going to make any difference whatsoever in the ability for people to conveniently, within reason, participate in the meeting. I mean, if 6 is no good for them, 6:30 is not going to be any good either. So I think that I honestly think this amendment really is missing the point. I mean, the point is, we're trying to make it earlier so it ends earlier, and it provides people a better opportunity to be able to give the input for which this particular meeting is designed to do. And I think, I think Councillor Davidson makes a good point, that it's not often that meetings go really late. I mean, let's face it, some meetings are over really quickly because there's nobody in the audience and nobody wants to speak to the amendment, and that's fine. But there are meetings where it's of significant concern to the community, and if we get 2 or 3 of those on the agenda, and there's no way to predict that really, then that meeting is going to go really late. So if we start an hour earlier, instead of it ending at 11, it ends at 10, or instead of ending at 10, it ends at 9, then people actually do have a better opportunity to participate. And I wanted to also mention that it's also really important to remember that residents have just as an effective way to participate in the meeting by attending virtually. We offer that now. We didn't used to offer that before that big pandemic thing happened, which is great. It's a huge improvement. And secondly, by writing. Writing in makes your views on things very clear, and it's lasting. It's right there. It can be referred to by staff again and again and again. And a well-written letter as to the reasons why you're in favor or not in favor of a particular application are incredibly important. So I think really the message here is that this motion and all of the actions that we're taking are doing our very best to actually increase the effective participation from citizens. And that's what we're trying to achieve here. So instead of micromanaging, like 6:45, 6:15, 6:30, whatever. I mean, the motion, Councillor Davidson has done the work, has acted on some input that she's received, and I think 6 o'clock is a good idea. Now, it's possible that we're wrong, and if we are wrong, then we as a council have every ability to switch it back to 7 or whatever time we want. But I think it's worth trying the 6 o'clock time slot, see what input we get. And frankly, if we get no input, it probably means that people are happy about it. But I would be very happy to support the motion as it was written, and I won't be able to support this particular amendment. But I do appreciate what Councillor Tree is trying to do as well, and I think, you know, you're trying to be very cognizant of people's needs. But the reality is people are so busy right now with so many different things that I really doubt, even if we spent hours and hours and hours debating this, whether we actually find a time that's ideal. What we're trying to find is the best time, not the ultimate time, because the ultimate time, frankly, I don't think exists.
Thank you. Next is Councillor Silovitz.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Unfortunately, I can't support the amendment, but I do appreciate what Councillor Tree is saying. But as Mayor West just said, let's try this out. It's not going to harm anybody, and I think it's a good shot. And let's see what happens. But unfortunately, I can't support this. One of the other reasons also is because the consultation that Councillor Davidson undertook with staff was for 6 o'clock. So if we change this now to 6:30, no consultation has taken place with staff regarding that time, and that would concern me. So thank you.
Thank you. Next is Councillor Shiu.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I totally understand the intention of Councillor Davidson of your motion. And also, I understand your point from Councillor Tree, because from what I know, many of our neighbors work from 9 to 6. So they even can make even by virtual, because they work till 6. But I just want to make a balance. I have a question to the staff. Would it be possible to have a flexible start time of the meeting? If the numbers of the agenda items and delegates is particularly high in a given week, we would consider starting the meeting at 6 instead of 6:30 or even 7. And the final decision will be made by city clerk. So does it sound feasible? Through Mr. Chair.
Mr. Clerk?
Through the chair, well, certainly staff are always in council's hands on these matters. I could not advise that, especially when we're dealing with council public meetings, because we have very strict notice requirements related to those. And notice has to go out well in advance before such a decision could be made. And if we don't have the flexibility in those notices to say the meeting might start anywhere between this time and that time. It would not comply with our obligations under the regulations.
Okay, understood. That's all my comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Thompson.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the motion. And certainly I understand where Councillor Tree is coming from. But as the mayor said, whether it's 7 o'clock, 6:30, 6 o'clock, it's really just about providing an opportunity for individuals to come out and state their case. And I look back to when I was still raising my family, and you could count the number of times I came in and delegated on one hand throughout the times that, you know, my kids were still growing up, because that's how many things came up perhaps in that whole span of time that was of importance to me. And the way I looked at it at the time, I had a couple of options. I could write an extensive letter and send it in, or I could delegate, or I could do both. Now we actually have hybrid, which certainly helps considerably. But if it was important to me, I'm going to make that time to get here, whether it was at 7 or 6:30 or at 6. If it's that important to me, I will make arrangements for that to happen, because it's not like it's going to happen every other Tuesday. It's only going to happen once in a while. So I think it's worth us at least trying it and see where it takes us. So I'm in favor of the original motion. I won't be able to support the amendment.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to speak on the amendment? I don't have a second round for the amendment. It's not allowed. So if not, I'm going to call the vote.
Can I revoke my motion?
You want to withdraw your motion?
Yeah, withdraw it.
All right, so
It's easier, right?
the amendment Withdrew. Okay.
Okay.
You sure? Okay, we'll go back to the main motion. Next speaker is Region and Local Councilor DePaula.
Okay, I'm fine, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Okay, anyone else would like to speak to the main motion? No second round, no wrap up? All right, so I'm gonna call the vote. All those in favor? Oppose? Carry unanimously. And next is the motion to adjourn. Councilor Silivets, all those in favor? Carry unanimously. Thank you.